original OG, the man of the G Spice brand and the cream brand. Welcome to the show. You know how we do it, my fellow Prodigy. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. OG, what's up, man? You ready to tell everybody what's causing all of this,
what's
man?
causing all this, baby?
What's causing all
G-Spice,
this?
V-Life.
Healthy eating. Yes, sir.
It's
Yes,
the
sir.
V-Life.
I'm happy for all my vegans that's in the house or people that's prospective vegans that really want to hear about this particular topic. We've finally been able to get on. It's been a couple of headaches, but we all here. We were having some audio problems. This how much I respect this man. And this how you know if I like you. I broke my sleep to get up and talk about this topic. So that's how you know I really care about this guy that's in front of me. I'm off about 4 hours of sleep, so y'all gonna have to, bear with me. But hey, I'm a tough man, so I'll make it happen or whatever. I got plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead. So let's get into this topic here. Today, I'm just tagging up the appropriate people on here before we get into this discussion today. But OG, I'm gonna let you hold the floor down real quick while I'm doing this. I just want you to tell everybody why you became a vegan, how long you've been a vegan, just to start off.
Exactly. I appreciate it. Once again, I am honored to be on today just to talk a little bit about my journey. Want to welcome you all on here, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, flexitarian, pescatarian, that you're doing something better just to make your life better through the foods that you eat. So my journey started, I'm not just going to say vegan journey. My health journey started years ago, really. I've been into health and fitness for a little while now, but the eating part has always been the hardest thing. So my wife and I, we've been doing different things. I think the first thing I cut out actually it started with milk. I stopped drinking whole milk. This is like years ago, and then we went to 2% milk. Read about 2% milk, found out that wasn't as good as, so we went to 1%, then skim milk, and then just cut out milk altogether. So
I hear you.
Thing was, can you hear me real good?
Yeah, I can hear you. No,
Okay.
I was just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then the next thing, my wife was having headaches, and then she noticed. She said, "Well, every time." This was about 10 years ago. So she said, "I noticed every time I eat pork, I get a headache." I said, "Okay, we'll just stop eating pork." She said, "Huh?" I said, "Yeah, we'll just stop eating pork." So we cut out pork about 10 years ago. So basically, it started there. But to fast forward to 2021, I've been plant-based lifestyle since about 2017. That's when I first started. And it was right about Thanksgiving time. That's crazy, huh? About Thanksgiving time, 2017 is when we first went plant-based. We went around, I think she started like September 2017. And I started like in October because she did it because she was on a weight loss journey. And she was having some health issues. So she had read up about it. She said a lot of people talk about this vegan lifestyle, this plant-based lifestyle. It says, it helps you lose weight, and it helps, it helps with inflammation. It helps with diabetes, cancers, certain type of things. Because I truly believe, being a spiritual man, a Bible-based man, that if you eat your way in it, you can eat your way out of it.
Absolutely. And I 100% agree.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Your timeline is quite interesting, OG, because it matched mine. I became a vegetarian in November of 2017.
Wow.
Actually, it was 16, but it was in the same general time, and it was around Thanksgiving, just like yours was. At the time, I was dating a vegan lady, extreme vegan lady. I'm talking about she was like not wearing, she was trying to get out of wearing leather and anything that was animal products. She got me into all this hemp stuff, So it's very interesting that you brought up that time period. And also a thing that we have in common, the first thing I stopped consuming was dairy, cheese, milk. I don't really eat it now. It very seldom, every once in a while when I really got a taste for it. But other than that, I'm not really a cheese, because cheese always made me congested, and it caused inflammation, which is something I learned from my ex-girlfriend at the time. She told me all the complications that us as African-American people specifically, who we don't even really need to eat that much dairy anyway, because we were more susceptible to getting vitamin D from the sun, being a melanated people anyway.
Right.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead and pick up with that statement I just said.
Well, even with dairy builds up mucus in your body.
Yep.
So dairy is really, I have a friend, his name is Dr. Jim Sharps. I met him at the YMCA, and Dr. Jim was in his 70s, and this man's in there lifting weights. He does, he was in the Senior Olympics, but he looks like he's in his 70s, but he looked like he could be in like his early 60s. And I just would sit there and talk to him, and he would just, spit me some knowledge, but I didn't know that he was a holistic doctor. And he told me, he said, man, well, all I do is eat vegetables, I'm pretty much a vegetarian or plant-based eater. So I was like, okay, that's cool, but I ain't doing that,
Right.
I'm talking all kinds of noise to this doctor, but the more and more I talked to him, he was just getting that into my spirit. And so when my wife went plant-based, and I remember sneaking out, getting double cheeseburgers, and because I didn't want to eat around her, because I didn't want to tempt her. But then it just dawned on me, it's like, why are you doing this? Just do it, So I just told her, I said, you know what? I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. So I really got this because of her. Right. I didn't have no qualms about it, with thinking about it. But then I watched the documentary What the Health that was on Netflix. I recommend everybody. Yeah. I recommend everybody watch that. It's a little extreme, but you can get nuggets out of it. And even if you don't go plant-based fully, you should minimize the amount of meat you eat.
Right.
So, I think it'll give you the consciousness to start thinking more about your health, because I'm getting older. I got grandkids.
Right. So you want to be around, you want to be able to play with them. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be around them. I want to be able to throw the baseball to my grandson up into my 60s and up into my 70s, really.
Yeah. I mean, and that's very, very inspiring. And I like that you were able to have that discipline to be considerate of what your wife is trying to do on her weight loss journey. And that's very supportive. And that's something I also encourage people, because a lot of people, when they know family members are struggling with health and things like that, it's just like a crackhead. If you're really trying to purge a crackhead off drugs or get a person that's off drug addictions, you have to completely remove them from that environment that triggers any type of impulses to make them want to use drugs. So that's a big mistake our people make when we know people having problems or they got an addiction with sugar. Next thing you know, we got Breyers in the refrigerator. We got Pepsi and we got all this stuff. You have to understand, you have to completely surround yourself around people that have your mission down pat, that are completely down for the cause that you have going on. And yeah, I don't like good stuff. But I want to just switch gears really quickly, and I want to talk about a lot of the misconceptions and hangups people have, which is why they have a hard time getting started with veganism. A lot of people really think that, oh, you just got to eat vegetables, and I can't really have no meat, and they forget a lot of vegetables have high concentration of protein. Broccoli, yams, beans, which with lentils and legumes.
Yes,
they're very high. Not the same way meat is. You'll still have to get like what's the word I'm looking for here? You'll have to eat a lot more of the amount per your body weight to make up for the lack of meat. So it's a science, a way to do it properly. And I encourage everybody to do the research based off, because everybody's body is different, based off your height, based off your genetics, based off your build. You need to find out individually what the dosage you need, how many grams of this, how many grams of that, and measure everything out. And also start off by getting you a cheap food processor. They got these little bullets, the little small, real small, where you hook it on the thing, you press the button, and it mixes everything up. And I would say you get a healthy balance of everything just by doing that. And then start off by taking things out gradually. Do intermittent fasting. People think you got to, I just got to stop eating everything right away. That's not a healthy way to do it, because you'll shock your body like that. You know what I mean?
The very big misconception is the protein myth. There's a book, and it's called 80-10-10. And with that, it tells you about your diet, what it should be. And out of that 80-10-10, 10% of your diet should be protein, 10% fat, and then 10% carbs, and then the other 80% was like vegetables. So so basically what it's saying in the 80-10-10 diet is saying that you really only need about 10% protein. You don't need as much protein as what's that tree? That thing we grew up on, the food pyramid.
Yeah, the full pyramid. Yep.
Yeah, you know that was made to keep you bound to the meat and dairy industry because that's big money.
Right.
So that's what people don't understand, because your body can only assimilate so much protein at a time anyway, up to like 20 to 25 grams. Your body can assimilate, then the rest of it just goes excretes to waste. Not unless you're into high intensity training, you're an athlete or something, then you can train your body to take in more protein. That's why most protein drinks are somewhere between 15 to 20 grams of protein, because they understand the science that your body can only assimilate that much protein at a time anyway. Right. And then when you're doing extra protein, what you're doing, you're putting more stress on your kidneys, on your pancreas, on your digestive system to break that protein down.
To filter it through your bloodstream.
Right.
To break that down. And it's hard to break down a big piece of meat because we don't have the digestive tract like a beast, like a lion. They have a much smaller, short digestive tract. So the science behind that is, because I went to school for science and physiology. I was just had a general science degree, but I focus mostly on like physiology and stuff like that. But the lion's digestive tract is much smaller, so it's less distance for it takes for it to leave your body, because you know when it goes through your digestive tract, go to your lower intestines, your stomach, lower intestines, and then out of your body. So that's it's a lion not only have the teeth to break it down to the smallest part, but they have their canine teeth are much sharper and designed to tear through flesh. Our canine teeth is sharp in comparison to the rest of our teeth, but they're dull compared to a lion's sharp teeth. So just the body, the genetics and behind your teeth is designed. We have teeth of herbivores or omnivores to break down, herbs and all these, the different stems and all of that. So that's the complete difference. A lot of people that eat a lot of protein, like you said, you have to be an aggressive trainer if you're trying to really use most of that protein that your body intakes. Like you said, it takes a toll on a lot of your kidneys and things like that. Also, if you overly abuse, let's say you already eat a lot of protein, and you take you're taking all these creatine, which creatine is secreted from protein. So they get that's one of most main building blocks.
Plenty of that.
Oh yeah, one of the building blocks for your muscles. To build muscle, they put in these protein powders. They put creatine. When you overuse it, it messes up your kidneys if you don't flush it with water properly. That's why if you see wrestlers like Khali, you could tell he got all these skin disforms and that's his liver not breaking down the protein. And when you overly abuse these supplements and all that, you have to filter your body with a lot of water when you eat like that.
Exactly.
You notice with a lot of athletes, OG?
Sir?
Is that something that you notice with a lot when athletes over abuse a lot of these proteins? Do you think they're aware of what it does to their kidneys and things like that?
No, they're not aware of it because they're dealing with old science. I go all the way back to, like when I was a kid playing football, eggs was the big thing, your Rocky movies. He was taking his eggs and he was just drinking egg yolks, and so that was the big thing to get protein. You weren't even cooking them, just drinking them, eating them raw. We thought, oh man, I'm gonna be big like Rocky, like Mr. T, because I'm drinking these eggs, but not knowing what it's actually gonna do to your body in the long run. Yeah. But it's a good thing that they were active people, but especially like during the steroid age, and we're not even going into all that. But
I'm sorry not to cut. One last thing I want to put in there before I put you back on track. Another misconception that a lot of people have about I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. Oh, the reason that our diet, the diet we go off, is a very caveman European type diet. And you got to keep in mind, most modern humans follow the cultural trends and normalities of Europeans. So what we think, that's why we're a very milk country. Like Europeans have a vitamin D deficiency because they don't have as much exposure to sun like melanated people do. In Europe, it's only really 3 months of really prosperous sun. That's during the summer. You got other places that might be, closer to the equator in Europe, the southern part, that get a little more of that. You know what I mean? The darker skinned Europeans are the ones, that are closer southern down there by Africa, on the east part of Africa and closer to the equator, where they get a little more, variety in their seasons. They're not as temperate temperate of a season as like the United Kingdom and places like that, the Scandinavians, the very northern part of Europe, that's not getting as much sunlight. Which is why it also it goes to the psychology of European people. Their whole culture is based off rushing and using a clock. The reason Africa, we didn't really focus on clocks like that because nature gave us everything we need every day consistently.
Yeah.
So with a lot of the Europeans, their culture is based off everything being overly convenient. That's why you have supermarkets where all of the junk food is right in the middle aisles when you first walk in. They conveniently structure the doors right there so you can go right to the junk food. And then also how they eat all the fast food and the dairy and all of that. Our bodies as melanated people don't break down food. And this is not about racism. This is about science. That's why also a lot of skin ailments that black people have are aggressive because the lack of the sunlight that we have being in this barren, terrain called North America. This terrain is really made for people that's accustomed to cold weather. People that's adaptable to cold weather because it's cold in North America 6 months out of the year. Between October and like early March, it's freezing cold. Or between, below 0 and 30 degrees, 40 degrees at the most. So that's why our skin is ashier. We have very ashy skin. And ashy skin is a problem of moisture. When you don't have enough moisture being in, warm climates and things like that, your sun's constantly penetrating the deeper, because your skin have two layers. The sun really has to penetrate the thicker part of your skin, the thicker layer of your skin, because it's two layers of your skin. So a lot of these, foods that we eat that sit in our skin, which is called, this is where a lot of the cholesterol problems come in. Anybody that has cholesterol problems, which comes from overly consuming all these trans fats and all these unhealthy foods, come from a lack of and also over consuming dairy can cause cholesterol problems as well. When you naturally get vitamin C, and if you're a person that has high cholesterol, you don't get enough sunlight. You need to get that out of your skin. When you go outside, the sun really penetrates that, and it really helps with all these cholesterol problems. But now let's get into some technicalities with foods. You already talked about the protein not being much of a necessity. Now, OG, a lot of people probably not that familiar with the different kinds of, because when people hear you say, oh, they're just vegetables, they're thinking of a word. They're going back to their childhood with vegetables they really hated. But people fail to realize the large spectrum that vegetables are. A lot of things are considered vegetables. It's some vegetables are considered a fruit, like a tomato or something like that. So you can eat things like that. But now, if you know this, could you please enlighten people on the different give us a couple different vegetables that maybe say about 5 or 4. I put my picture up. I don't know why it ain't loaded yet. Let me try to reload this up because I put a nice, about 7 or 8 vegetables in this picture here. Can you see that picture I put up? Is it visible on our channel?
I can't even see you.
You can't see me? But you must got a small window on your thing.
I saw you earlier today. Every time I'm on, I see you, but today I'm just seeing me in the comments.
Okay, so while I'm trying to get this picture to fix in my image, because I can see myself, can everybody else see me, or is that just OG that can't see me, or whatever on here? But so while I'm doing that, talk to the people about different tasty vegetables that have healthy properties that they can consume. Because people probably think like, oh, I want them nasty vegetables, and also it comes down to preparation. So can you shed some light on that? I'm trying to fix this thing.
Yeah, I can shed some light on that, but can I go to the definition first of vegan?
Sure.
Because that's, since we're talking about it. So the basic definition for vegan, this is the original definition. I found it very interesting. And it's a non-dairy vegetarian. That was the original definition. And but it's a little deeper than that because they said they had to expand on it. But it's basically a person that does not eat food that's derived from animals. Mm-hmm. That's basically what a vegan is. But then you got, then you have veganism, which is the practice of eating food only not derived from animals, and the avoidance of products not derived from animals. So that's the term vegan in a nutshell. Could go a little deeper. Veganism is a philosophy. That's what I want people to understand. It's a philosophy. It didn't come about until the 1940s. People were vegetarian in like the 20s and 30s, but actually veganism didn't come on board until like the 1940s. They had a society, but it is a philosophy and it's a way of life. You know, I consider I had to embrace the term vegan because of the misnomers and the misconceptions that people in the non-understanding that people have about vegans. So, because when I went to this, I'm just plant-based. I got a shirt. A friend of mine is called Plant-Based Dripping because that's what I'm doing. I'm eating a plant-based diet.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm eating a plant-based diet because I got in this for the health benefits of eating plants or a plant-based diet. For it's kind of interesting because a person like me, I'm gonna tell you, I was a severe carnivore. I'm telling you, I was a meat eater. Beef was my favorite. Any type of beef, venison, red meat was my favorite. I loved buffalo. Anytime I could get me a bison burger, I would get me a bison burger because that was my favorite.
Yeah.
So, you know, like TJ said, but our bodies really not built to eat meat. You can, you know, it's scientific and it's biblical. You go all the way back to the first man in the garden. He said, I'm gonna give you the herb bearing plants and seeds for meat to eat. Then give them the animals to eat.
Right.
Not until after the fall. So therefore, I'm gonna get a little biblical here. So when they sacrificed meat, when they had to eat the meat, he says you prepare the meat with bitter herbs. Why? Because the bitter herbs is gonna help you break down that meat, so that meat is not gonna be in your system for 3 to 4 days, putrefying in your gut.
Right.
That's why you know things can stink.
Yeah, when
because
you have a bowel movement, that's why it smells horrible.
Right.
Like it's rotten.
You don't have. You're supposed to have a bowel movement like
twice a day,
every
really.
time, you know, at least 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
At least once a day, you're supposed to have a bowel movement.
Especially if you're a heavy meat eater like that. If you're a really heavy meat eater. And another thing you also got to get used to having a lot of diuretics in your diet to a T. To a T is considered a diuretic. And what a diuretic is pretty much it speeds up or increases fluids throughout your body, which makes you go to the bathroom faster. A lot of food with high water content, fruits and vegetables. You have celery.
I drink green tea every day. Every day I drink,
but don't overdo it because see the unique thing, you got to be real careful. And I drink a couple cups of green tea a day sometimes too, especially during the winter months when I'm putting a lot more stress on my respiratory system and stuff like that, or whatever. Especially now since we also in addition since we broadcast multiple times a day now, and my voice is always working. I got to make sure I'm drinking tea, but you have to drink a lot of diuretics, fruits and vegetables, celery, watermelon, cucumbers.
Oranges,
pineapples, melons, mango, anything that has a high concentration of water. You need, if you're a heavy meat eater, you have to cleanse your body. And the one thing, real quick, I want to just get not off track, but kind of something we forgot to mention that's important. If it's anybody on here that's considering becoming a vegan, I just heard Ryback, who was you see how Ryback look. He's apparently a vegan now, but a big dude like that, man, he gonna have to eat. If he was eating 10 times a day, he probably gonna have to eat about 20 times a day to maintain that muscle he got. But because he can maintain it. Yeah, he probably would. It's about what you eat, how you work out, rest.
Hemp seeds, avocados, sweet potatoes, stuff that's protein rich for him because he lifts a lot of weights and stuff. So he'll learn the right things, and even he'll get a nice great protein shake.
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
There's a lot of good protein shakes out there that's plant-based. My favorite is OWYN, only what you need. As a matter of fact, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to say one thing while you're getting that prepared for what you're going to do here.
Okay, I'm going to show you the protein pack.
Okay. So for anybody that's considered a vegan, I'm not a vegan right now, but it's definitely something I plan on getting back into as I get closer to having children. I want to become a vegan again so they can be healthy. Oh, yeah, I've seen that before in stores. I've seen that before.
This is my favorite because it's simple. It's simple ingredients. There's not a lot of additives. Mm-hmm. You get some of them that's got a lot of additives, stuff you can't pronounce, gum, and it don't have much plants in it. But this one is my favorite. Only what you need. They have another one that's called Ripple. And Ripple is real good. It's a plant-based milk. It has 8 grams of protein in it. I go through like the chocolate one. I go through like one every 2 days because I used to love chocolate milk anyway.
How many ounces?
So
I know you said it's 8 grams of protein, but how many ounces is it? Why it take you 2 days? Is it a lot of ounces or something?
oh, not this. I'm talking about the milk I drink, at night. Sometimes when I want something sweet and I want to drink some chocolate milk, I I I'm a portion control person. So I just sip on it.
Right.
So
No, because I was thinking it was a large quantity, like a lot of servings. So that's why I'm saying, how many ounces is it?
nah, it's a how big is that? It's about a half gallon.
Half a gallon. Oh yeah. It'll take you a few
Yeah.
days to drink that. I thought it was about 8 ounces. I about to say I could
No, it's
finish
so
that in one
good.
sitting. Yeah.
It's so good. I can drink it in a day or 2 days because
Yeah.
it's so good and I like it, but I have to
You
cut
gotta pace
myself
yourself.
off
Yeah.
because I'm portion control. But this right here, this protein's got 20 grams of protein, right?
Yep.
And I mean, there's real simple ingredients: water, a protein blend of pea protein, organic pumpkin seeds, because pumpkin seeds have protein in it, flax oil. That's where you get your fatty acids from your flax oil. It's got vegetable fiber, organic cane sugars, not much sugar in it, sunflower oil, cocoa powder, and Himalayan pink sea salt. And it's got some broccoli and spinach and kale in it, and monk fruit.
Do
Real
y'all have
simple.
Whole Food or Pete Markets down there where you at in Texas?
We have a Whole Foods. Even your grocery stores are getting better. We got a grocery store, HEB. They got a vegan section now. Where they have vegan foods, so they're getting better. You got Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Not just Trader Joe's. You got Aldi's.
Yeah.
Some people have Aldi's. They got a nice vegan section.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's good to know.
It's growing, man.
Yeah.
You can even go look. I was surprised because it's snacks. I went to Dollar General, and they had a lot of plant-based snacks. I was like, really? So
now, OG, are you familiar with the number on the back of product? Even if you got like junk food, it's a number that correlates with vegan products. I believe it's the number 9. So if it's got like a number 9, I think it's a certain color. You can double check it on Google. Any product to check,
I normally check
because Oreos are vegan. I didn't even know that, but Oreos are, and I love cookies, so
yeah, Oreos are vegan.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that, because I would thought that cream would have been made out of some processed or something. Huh?
Yep. That's what
I would have thought it would have been processed. Yeah.
But they want Oreo, the company, Nabisco, they won't put the V symbol on it, vegan on there, just for legalities, because it's made, they make it in a facility where they have meat, dairy. So they won't be so bold to put the V on there.
Because that could be a lawsuit. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff that's truly vegan, they will put that they'll put on the package that it's plant-based or it's vegan. So
they even got like vegan gummy bears, for kids, because a lot of getting kids to eat healthy stuff can be a challenge if you don't wean them or what's the word rear them to eat healthy at an early age. Well, us being in America with everything having so much sugar and all that in it, it's hard to get a hyperactive kid off sugar if you raise them. Because I had to detox to get off sugar, because I used to drink sugar and I'm the type of person that like to be mentally stimulated a lot, and sugar, is not something you want to consume if you that type of person. If you like to have mental stimulation, sugar is not the thing. Stay away from, some sweet coffee. I don't even drink sweet coffee. When I drink coffee, it's straight black. I drink natural coffee, like a medium roast or something like that. I don't even get out with all that Starbucks sweet stuff. I don't drink that. So
you know what I found for mental stimulation? It is real weird, because a lot of people, caffeine gets a bad rap. But the reason about caffeine is bad or considered bad is because people use too much of it.
Right.
But I found it at Walmart. Caffeinated water.
Oh wow!
It's a bottle this tall, and it only has. I got some in my.
What's that, about a liter?
And it's only 150. It's only this is 33-liter bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's caffeine water, because caffeine is a mental stimulant. It keeps you alert.
Yeah.
So.
But you got to take it in moderation, though.
Yeah, you got to take it in moderation. That's why I get that, and I just sip on it when I'm working. I'll just sip on it throughout the day.
Yeah.
And hey, Don't give you the jitters or anything because it's a very low dosage, 150
Right.
milligrams. 30, almost 39 ounces of water.
Yeah. Coffee is actually good if you're going into if you're trying to like shred up and retain your muscle. Coffee is part of the keto diet. Coffee, alkaline water, and beef. If you're a type of person that's trying to, but once again, it goes back. You have to still be an athlete and working out. So if you're doing a keto diet, you're trying to trim. You want your muscles to look nice, but not have so much fat around your abs and all that. The keto diet is a good temporary diet to have where you just doing probably maybe no more than a month you're doing it and working
Glad
out.
You said that good temporary. It's
yeah,
not a
temporary,
lifestyle.
not long term. That's not nothing you want to do long term.
People think it's a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle.
No, it's temporary.
Good temporary.
So this thing I want to say real quick before anybody that's considered being a vegan, which I plan on being a vegan again in a couple of years. I still eat conservative now. I don't do dairy really. Every blue moon I do. I go through phases where I eat dairy for maybe like I eat it for a month and then I won't eat it again probably for about a year and a half. So I go through phases if I'm craving it, if I'm because dairy to me is a comfort food. Like when it's cold outside or something like that, I might eat some ice cream and watch a couple movies or something like that. But I'm still moving. When I get up, I have a habit after I eat, I do chores. So that's
Speaking I'm sorry.
No, real quick. Hold that thought real quick. So like, when I'm so it go through my body properly anyway because I have the habit of when after I eat I do chores. Some people think, oh, I'm gonna eat and let my food rest and I sit down. That's the bad habit that a lot of Americans have, which is why Asians tend to be in better shape because after they eat, not only do they eat a lot of rice and stuff like that, which filters your body anyway because it's fiber, so it's gonna flush a lot of that meat you eat out anyway. But they also go for a walk. They're in the habit of walking all the time or move. We sit right down, which is a bad habit to have. But anyway, I have this habit where no matter what, even if I'm eating bad, I always do chores after I eat. So that body is, that food getting ready to move down. I'm moving it down. But something a lot of people forget to do. Yeah, Raph, that's a bad habit. You got to break that habit and go for a brief walk, even if it's for 5 minutes around your house. Because I know you live in Minnesota, so it's cold. But in the summer months, definitely make it a habit. You go, even if it's around your block, walk 10 minutes around your block. But if anybody's considered going vegan, the first thing you need to do when you've been eating your meat, let's say you've been eating meat, you're 25 or older. That's a long time to be eating meat. So you just can't go right into veganism. You can, but it's not as effective. The most effective way that I've heard and I've practiced myself, so I consider this the most effective way, you have to fast for like a couple days first. You got to cleanse your body out. You got to detox. Get you a detox drink, flush yourself out for a while, and then maybe for a couple hours, all you consuming is fruit. Make sure it's some good fruit and vegetable and water. That's all you need to be doing after you cleanse first. You replenish. You put the stuff back to your body through fruits and vegetables, and then you become a vegetarian because you have to train your body. I would say probably anywhere between about 8 to 12 hours. You fast first. Then you go into your vegetarian because you will shock your body if you just go right into it. Some people probably normally can just adapt. Everybody's body is different and circumstances. I'm not a vegan. Actually, I'm not. If you ask, OG is my guest that's on here with me. If you can see him, he's a vegan. I'm not a vegan. No, I'm just a conservative eater. I eat a lot of protein. I eat a lot of I do protein, vegetables, carbohydrates, liquids. I keep it real simple. And for my sugar, if I get, I want a cake or something like that, I usually do like orange juice or something. That usually curbs my appetite for sugar and stuff. Every once in a while, I eat a donut or something. But you best believe when I eat like that, if I eat a slice of pizza or something, I go work out. I go right to work out. So it don't sit in me very long. I burn it off walking or running or something like that. But yeah, so you gotta prepare your body for vegan. That's a radical change. That's like out of the blue. If you decide I don't know. I can't think of a good example right now, but that's a little too radical to do right away. You can't you'll shock your body like that. And you got to keep in mind, also change your diet is almost like getting off crack. When you're on crack, it's hard to anything to stimulate. You drink some sugar, you drink some soda, caffeine, you gotta get anything that's a stimulant, a cigarette, any of that type of stuff that's a stimulant, being around other people that smoke, it can make you relapse. So when you first make your transition to becoming a vegan, you got to take yourself away from people for a couple days or whatever. Hopefully you with a partner that's understanding, or you got roommates. And if you have roommates and they meat eaters, get yourself your own refrigerator. So being a vegan is something you got to prepare for. because it's an investment. You got to invest in it first. If you're serious, it's gonna be an investment. So don't do it right away. Start making small steps, like cut out dairy, cut out refined sugars, all these overly sweet cereals. If you eating a cereal, it should be grain based anyway. It should be like flakes or wheat thins, real sugar. If you something like I got 2 boxes right now of Frost, not Frost. I don't even. I like Frost.
But
That's sugar. What's it called? Raisin Bran. I got 2 with clusters. They good. Little sugar clusters, not sugar, but they little sweet little cluster things up in there. Something like that is a cereal you want to start eating. That's delicious cereal. I don't know why people like, oh, healthy cereal, it ain't good. No, it's not. They got some good healthy cereal. Cinnamon, what's some golden grams, them good with some almond
Honey
milk.
Nut Cheerios, bro.
Yeah, them delicious too. Honey Nut Cheerios
with some unsweet almond milk.
Yep, delicious. Absolutely delicious.
So you're not adding more sugar to it, so you get you some unsweet almond milk, or you get this silk milk. Yeah, and it's got 10 grams of protein in it. It's cashew almond milk, and it's only got 2 grams of sugar. And that's what I use on my Honey Nut Cheerios. I eat maybe Honey Nut Cheerios every other day or so. Might put some bananas in it.
Yeah, I like a snack on that. Yeah, some Honey Nut Cheerios is like a snack for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or sometimes I do regular Cheerios, and my wife's like, "How can you eat Cheerios with no sugar?"
You gotta add something to it. You know what I mean?
I don't have to.
Fruit is
one thing you can do. Yeah. You can train your taste buds.
Yeah.
Because you don't live to eat, you eat to live.
Right. Like me with coffee. When I first started drinking coffee black, I see what people were talking about, but I trained my body to say this is what I need. This is a healthier form of protein. I'm sorry, not protein, but caffeine. It's a healthier form of caffeine. So I've trained when I first started drinking, I saw people thought it was a bitter taste and all that. But you gotta it's an acquired taste. You gotta get used to it.
You'll learn which coffee is actually good too, because my brother did that with tea. He taught me how to drink tea unsweet, even though I love sweet tea. So I go back and forth.
Right. It depends. Like you said,
where my mind is at.
Right. It depends on different. Because I'm a big tea connoisseur. I love tea. I could drink tea quite often. I like sweet tea too. And if I go out to a diner or something, I don't eat out very often. But when I do, I like to go to like a diner, it's a place here in where I live at called Huck Finn's. I don't know if they got them in there. They sound like something that started in the South, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's called Huck Finn. It's like a diner like place or whatever. We got one here. And when I go out there, I give me like a skillet, maybe a couple when I'm in the mood to eat some bread, I eat some French toast or something like that, maybe some pancakes, but they homemade. They make them right in there. So but I usually give me a skillet, eggs, meat, vegetables, onions, all that. I put that, and then I'll give me some sweet tea. So all that, I still stay lean. I'm pretty lean now. You wouldn't even be able to tell I eat a lot of that type of stuff. But so yeah, that's
active though. So that's
right. I try to, and I'm very, I do everything in moderation. I know not to overdo it and all that. So that's what I try to overconsume. Us as black folks, we just so used to, we stuck in them because our grandparents put us on this where we overconsume. Spaghetti is fine if you don't overconsume. I prefer whole wheat. The little noodles to be whole wheat. But even if you eat the bleached white ones, it's about how much you consume. Don't over consume it. We sit there and have 3 and 4 portions of it, and we might be 130 pounds. Our women be small. They got the nice shit. Black women are like so perfectly shaped, man. It's crazy. Like I'd be jealous if I was a whole nother woman. They got butts, thin, waist and all that flat stuff. But a lot of the times they get the bellies from over consuming all that sugar-based stuff, breads and
processed foods.
They over consume it. So it's about portions. You gotta know what portion is good. They got little calculators now, calorie calculators and all that type of stuff on your phones now. Well, you don't really have no excuse for not counting your calories. You know what I mean? It's there. It's just a matter of if you want to do it or not. That's what it comes down to: the discipline and getting your body to actually do it. So to get off this point, make sure you fast properly and do your research on how to fast properly for your body type before you become a vegan. You do not want to shock your body. Make sure you're doing the fasting properly, and then it might work for you to do for a couple of days. You need a lot of fruit or vegetables to replace, because you still it's like you coming down off a crack high. So it's you're gonna be going through the jitters and all that for a while. but you'll get used to it. You gotta, I always also encourage people to do it where you got at least 2 days off the rest. Do it on like the weekend, like a start Saturday night or something like that. You have your last little, bad meal early on Saturday or whatever. Start Saturday night, so you got all Sunday to rest. Then Monday, you ready to go. You ready to start your diet by Monday. You know what I mean? Start off Monday morning with oatmeal or something like that. Oatmeal with you some fruit and nuts and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's good advice too. That's one thing that's good to eat in the morning.
Oatmeal,
is oatmeal because it's fiber rich and it's not heavy.
Right.
And don't get that sugary pack.
No, get what you actually cook from scratch. Get you a
if you most people get it, get the packs, but if you can cook it from scratch, but if you do get the packs, try to get the ones that's low sugar because you don't want all that sugar. And even when I do the packs, I dump it out, but I'll take some of that sugar off the top anyway. I'll just take some of it out.
Really, honestly, oatmeal, your best bet is go to a place like a Whole Foods, or if you got like a what they call it, Save-A-Lot or a Food for Less or something like that in your city, go get the biggest tub you're gonna realistically eat. Maybe for you that might be a half a gallon, maybe a couple ounces, 16, 32 ounces or something like that. Get you something you can realistically eat in about 2 weeks. If you're gonna eat it every day, maybe like 2 weeks for you to eat. Get the one that don't, like you said, don't got no sugar, and add your sweet. Put you some honey on that. Honey is a natural sweetener. They even got bee-free honey, which is apple based, which I learned from my vegan ex-girlfriend. It was an apple based.
Yeah, they do have bee-free honey. Yeah. That's a lot of sugar content in it, though. They add a lot of sugar, but anyway. So I really don't mess with that, but that's just me. But it's a good alternative for See that we can go down another road with that one too, because the honey thing, that's you got different levels of vegans too, and the honey thing, that's like a fundamentalist. That's like a pharisaical vegan,
Right.
They won't eat honey, and but some people like, oh, it's just honey, because honey is good. Honey got a lot of good, honey good for allergies. Honey is good for a lot of things. So, raw honey is real good. So I do honey, that's me.
Yeah, but like you said, it's different philosophies when it comes to vegan too. People do it for different like this guy Donald Watson, who the person that coined the term vegan in 1944. When he co-founded the Vegan Society in the UK, at first he used it as a means to as non-dietary vegetarian, like you said. However, by May of 1945, vegans explicitly abstained from eggs, honey, and animals. Milk and butter and cheese, right? He was the one that was behind that, but he had a more of a moralistic approach to it where, okay, we exploit animals. That's how he health was secondary. It appeared to be secondary to him. Whereas a lot of these 2010 people for help. Go ahead.
He grew up on a farm and he was like, Dad, where's Raphael? You just ate Raphael. So he was like, he didn't like that, that, 1 minute the animal is his pet and then the next minute they slaughter the animal and they eat it.
Right.
So that messed with his, morals.
And that's not so much my philosophy, because honestly, I think God put certain animals here for us to eat. You know what I mean? They was just here for us to eat. I believe that, if you're not like a pet or something like that, I know some people probably don't look at it, or they look at this as insensitive. I'm just saying how I look at it. Unless a cow about to build me a computer or build a society, which a lot of them been around just as long as us, and they ain't did that. I mean, why should I still feel bad about eating them? Dogs are intelligent. You know what I mean? Animals we use as pets even goldfish are intelligent. The animals that we have are pets, either domesticated or not, are intelligent. Look how dogs can pull sleighs, and I'm not saying dogs can always be. Dogs are good, like guardians. That was so they understand. Even snakes, I like snakes for this too.
But people eat dogs too, though.
Well, what they call Asians, but I don't know too many non-Asian countries that eat
I've been
dogs.
to the meat market in Korea, they have dogs hanging up in that meat market because they breed dogs to eat.
You seen dogs that hanging up before? You actually seen dogs when you was in there?
Yeah, in the meat market in Korea.
Wow. Okay, so this is my philosophy on why Asian people, I get why they eat dogs. When you have multi-billion people to take care of, you eating dogs make a little bit of sense. But in the society that we live in, where now I just noticed something. I put that tea on and I ain't even drinking. I'm about to go get it in a minute. I'm gonna pass to you, and I need to go get my tea. I put that. It's probably cold. I gotta warm it up now. But yeah, a lot of them I get why they do it. Have the same intelligence as a 2-year-old child. Yeah, pigs. See, the thing with pigs is I don't know if you familiar with Dr. Layla Africa. OG, you familiar with him?
No, I'm not familiar with him.
Dr. Layla Africa. Okay, so and also okay, one of the guys that you said, I think you said he was a pastor when you opened up somebody you knew. That you say he was 70-some years old, still working out or whatever.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Dr. Sebi. You familiar with Dr. Sebi?
I'm familiar with Dr. Sebi.
Okay.
The whole world.
You know, and I got my theories about him. I think they killed him, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole nother for another.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do how they kill our freedom fighters, and we're gonna have to do a whole conversation. You know, that's a separate topic for another. Maybe we could talk about that next week. But pigs are actually, people had this misconception that pigs are nasty animals. Pigs are domesticated in America to be a nasty animal because Spaniard pigs that they feed hazelnuts and more natural plant-based stuff too. They have some of the healthiest meat you can eat. So we in the United States, you got another, you got to keep it. Let's take it to a scientific standpoint. What toxicology and what animal kingdom does the pig are they related to? Hippos. What do hippos naturally live in? Water. So pigs don't naturally, they're not indigenous unless they're land like wild hogs. Pigs aren't indigenous to mud. They don't live on land. They live in water. What do hippos do? That's why a lot of times when people get attacked by hippos, they're usually doing something stupid. They out there in water. They don't got no business out there. Hippos trying to eat and all that. Or they could be mating or something like that. You know, animals get territorial when they're mating. So if you get by them and they trying to protect their nest, they going to mess you up. All animals do that. Even humans. Let you harm somebody's kid, they gonna beat the hell out of you. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's another thing. Pigs are in the hippo family, which I learned from Dr. Layla Africa. Pigs don't naturally, they cool themselves off in mud because that's how they domesticated in the United States. But historically, pigs are related to hippos. They live in water. Hippos are always underwater, relaxing and staying out of the sun. It's hot as hell in Africa, so they getting that sun to cool themselves off, and they camouflage themselves from prey when they're in water because their skin almost, camouflages with water. So that's a good survival tactic to have too. But yeah, getting back on topic, and I'm gonna pass you because I need to get up and get my tea before we start topic 2 in a few minutes. We're gonna start our second. We're gonna close this one out in a minute with a couple comments or whatever. OG, I got a trivia question. Well, I'm gonna let you give your opinions about what I just said or any closing comments you have, and then I'm gonna give you a trivia question before we close out. Go ahead. I'm gonna go grab my tea quick.
And you ain't had me prepared for no trivia. Some good stuff. I'm gonna tell you some. You had mentioned some good things to eat, and I'm high on something that I really don't like, but it's avocado. Avocado is like it's a superfood, superfruit. It's high in fatty acids. It's got protein in it. Got a lot of nutrients in it that your body needs. So the way I get my avocado is, since I don't eat them, don't like the texture, I put it in a shake. I blend it with my protein powder and my almond milk with a half a banana, and I mean my shake be delicious. So that's how I get that. That's how I get avocados in me. Quinoa is good. Chickpeas, different types of rice. Like you said, your fruits, your nuts, all kinds of nuts. Hemp seeds are good. Pumpkin seeds. I mean, all this stuff is good for your body. I don't like beans, but beans are definitely good for protein. I'm just not a bean. I never liked beans, so it's just one thing I just deal with, but that's just me. Like when they start with the burger stuff, I tried a black bean burger. Oh my God, it was like the worst thing in the world to me because I don't like beans, but that's just me. Some people do a lot of tofu. I started out doing some tofu. I don't do a lot of tofu because for African Americans, too much soy is not really good for us. Dr. Sebi says soy at all is not good for us, but a lot of things, I don't have, my body can process soy. I'm one of those, I got one of those A-type bodies. So wife gets kind of jealous because I can pretty much eat anything. I can fast. Like when it was meat eating, you know, I could be on 2-3 day fast and eat a steak right afterwards and keep it moving. But that's because I have like an A-type body, so I don't really get sick from stuff like that. Legumes, you know, peanut butter, you know, you want something to snack on, get you some peanut butter, man. So peanut butter, get you some low sugar jelly. So I eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you know, love them. A lot of good stuff that you can eat. One thing for people that transition, I think the easiest thing when you transition, my wife and I tell people, is they say, what can you eat? Start with some spaghetti. Start with spaghetti.
Spaghetti, yep.
Yep.
Because a lot of us anyway, like when black folks, you know, at our Thanksgivings, a lot of black people at our Thanksgivings. I'm glad you said spaghetti as I've come back with my tea. But a lot of black people at our, in addition to having meat and everything, what we do eat our vegetables. We just gotta have meat with our vegetables. So we eat our so that's OG. What he's saying is right, that you want to start off with spaghetti because we already got the bell pepper and the onions and all that. So you still feel like you're eating something with the texture of meat when you eat spaghetti. So yeah, that's a good transition, OG.
Avocado is a fruit, Hugh. So it is
anything with
vegan.
a seed in it. Anything with a seed is considered a fruit.
Yeah, avocado don't come from an animal.
Right.
Not unless a hippo lay in it. But
why would you say avocado isn't vegan?
Or fruit. It's vegan. It's on the vegan list.
Right. I'm about to say that's fruit. That's considered vegan. Yeah. And it got good natural fat. It's good fats in it too. That's why it's good for like people that want to replace fish and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what I replace fish oil with?
What's that?
Flaxseed oil.
Flaxseed, yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and also sea moss. They said is because it involves slavery. Oh my Lord!
Come on now, man.
We're talking about a vegan diet.
Hey, OG, what you expect from a person with the profile name Hugh G. Rection? What you expect the type of comments you know what that joke about? You know what that joke about, don't you?
Yeah, man.
With the Hugh G. Rection, yeah.
I got it. I just say Hugh. How about that?
Come on,
it's
man.
Fruit, man. A lot of things involve, you know, you can say that about bananas.
Right.
You know.
or sugar cane for that matter.
Sugar cane. You can say it about a lot of things.
Right. You can say it about rights too. But you want to hear something funny? Speaking of jokes, OG, I swear. Nah, I mean, what you saying might have merit to it, but we just saying that don't make it any less of a vegan item. Sure, I mean,
we're not saying that. Yeah, we're not saying that you don't have merit, but it's still vegan. It's still a fruit.
Right. Slavery was terrible. That don't mean I hate all white people. You know what I mean? Like that don't mean I want them to disappear because slavery was terrible. Right. But so a funny joke. Speaking that now that we on jokes, and we got to start our next show in about 10 minutes. Even though I got it set for 6:30, y'all know we doing it. So just come over to our next show. We about to start a wrestling show in about 10 minutes. But and Brian, I'm sorry, Raph, I'm gonna let y'all call into that one. This show was just for me and OG to do because y'all don't really know a whole lot about veganism. You know what I mean? So I want to put y'all in an uncomfortable situation. So that's why me and OG I went to school for science. OG is actually a vegan. So that's why me and him only hosted this show. But I'm gonna bring y'all in on the next. So I saw that question earlier too, Raph. I ain't forgot about you. But a joke. I had lost my train of thought. You know, I didn't know what quinoa was at first. I thought quinoa was like a ghetto black boy name. I'm like, what the fuck, quinoa? Yeah, I didn't know what quinoa was like 2 years ago. I swear to God. It is one of the most nutritious. I think it's considered a grain. Is that considered a grain? What family of food?
It's considered a grain.
Okay. So yeah, I thought that was like I'm like quinoa. Tell this badass to go in the house. Who the hell is quinoa? I thought that was like a ghetto black boy or something. That's a damn food. And believe it or not, I went in the store and my friend was like, "Oh, this quinoa." I'm like, what the fuck? Do we owe child support? Quinoa? Like what? But yeah, that's something I found.
I didn't know how to pronounce it at first. I
thought it was quinoa. Yeah, I'm like, what the? How you say that? Quinoa, which sounds like you got like a Spanish origin to it or something like that.
You know what's really good too? Mushrooms. I'm not a big mushroom eater.
Nor am I. Yeah.
But mushrooms have a lot of nutrients that fungus that your body needs. More I get my mushrooms. I do the reishi mushroom tea, but I'm not a big mushroom eater. But the king oyster mushroom, I can eat that. You know, get a little almond flour or something, fry that joke up, and it tastes like a chicken sandwich.
You like portobello?
I'm really not a big portobello mushroom fan. I normally, if I do any mushroom, I do the king oyster mushroom, and I do it for like chicken nuggets or something like that when I do mushrooms. But I'm really not a mushroom person. But that's what I do with mushrooms.
The taste. If I eat mushroom, it tastes better when I got it with like something else. If I mix it with something else, or like a sandwich or something like that. But other than that, I'm not big. I got to put some peppers or something up, and I'm not. Mushrooms by itself don't have the most appetizing taste to me. But I understand why.
It takes on the taste of what you cook with it, but it's a texture thing for me. I really don't like much because mushrooms don't have no taste by themselves anyway. But it's just a texture thing for me, and you know, I'm really not a big guy on peppers neither. I don't like all those different type of peppers, but you know.
Man, I make a pepper for you to like it. I cook the hell out with some peppers. I got that from my dad. Yeah, I make a pepper meal for you to like. Trust me. That's how you gonna have to make that.
Again, some got peppers in it. I can, every now and again, but just for me, like when I cook for my wife, when I make her, I'll do some spinach, cut up some peppers and stuff, and I'll saute it for her. But I'll do mine without the peppers. I'll do mine with onions. I love onions, so I'll do mine with
onions and peppers.
And then I
also
I throw a little G spice on everything. You got your bottle of G-Spice?
I bet you do. Yeah, it's not with me. You want me to go get it?
Yeah, I can't see you on the screen, but I'm sure everybody else can see.
I got my shirt on.
Oh yeah, you got your shirt on, so cool.
I got my G-Spice shirt on. This is the G-Spice shirt right here. OG, this is his product. That's why he looking like Uncle Ben on the front. Don't OG look like he was related to Uncle Ben at some point in his life? He just got that. He looked like he was trying to make food. Like, you just look like it. But what was I gonna say? Also, onions and peppers have healthy properties to them, and what I mean by that is they good antiseptic, bacteria killers. So when you got the sniffles and your nose stopped up, put more onion. Matter of fact, you could put an onion in your room once you get used to the smell. It's good for your respiratory system. Cut your onion in half, sit it in your studio, especially since you're stuck in the house now. You want to keep as much naturalness. Open your shade, open your light, get that sunlight in on you. Cut your onion, sit it in your room. That'll get rid of all them sniffles and snuffles. Let it sit in your room for a while. If you're not gonna do that, eat you a bunch of peppers and stuff in your diet. You got to eat peppers in moderation though, because it causes acid reflux. So you got to be careful with peppers.
Cut your onion in half, put it on the heel of your feet overnight, and it sucks the toxins out your body.
I ain't never thought about that. That sounds factual though.
Yeah, it's an old remedy from old folks. Onions and potatoes too. And you just cut it, put it on the bottom of your feet overnight, and it draws the sickness out your body.
That's interesting. I ain't never thought about it, but it sounds like it can work definitely with an onion. But something what I want to close out with, because we got to get to this. I try to respect the time that we make for things. So if y'all want us to do another topic on this, I feel like we covered a lot of corners. And at this point, it'd just be specifics. If you want us to cover specific topics about specific foods, you got me. I got a couple resources here. This is probably the best book you can get on this. It's called Eat to Heal. Eat and Heal. Book here, OG.
Yeah. They can go on websites too, some good websites out there. Vegan.com, vegansociety.com.
Yeah. I got this one too. I love this book. This for the more easily digestible people that want more specific recipes. This is called the Vegan Cheat Sheet. Make sure you get this book here.
I'm gonna have to get that one.
It's only a couple bucks. It's $14 in the United States. Probably can get it cheap for that because I had this book for a while. Or actually, but my girl at the time, my vegan girlfriend gave me both of these, and these helped me quite a bit with these books here. But the last thing I want us to do really quickly, I'm gonna try to stump OG with this question here. OG, what country right now is #1 in veganism? I'll give you 3 tries.
What country is #1 in veganism? Well, Africa is a continent.
Right. Hold on. Let me see if they even top on the list. I'll give you a hint on that one. It's not Africa. Not that's #1. They not #1.
Not even on that continent. So
let me see if they even top 5. Hold on. They not even top 5. No African country is top 5 in any of
How
these
about
countries.
the UK?
They are number 1. Ding, ding, ding,
That's
ding,
what
ding,
I thought
ding.
it was.
Yes,
Because
sir. How did you know that? The UK is number 1.
you want to know how I know it?
How's that?
Because a lot of tests, like KFC, McDonald's, and all them, they all do their tests first in the UK with vegan products or plant-based products.
That's interesting. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what it was Australia until like 3 years ago. They're number 2 though. Australia dropped down to number 2. It was them 2 years in a row for 2015 to 2016 was Australia. Which Australia and UK have a lot of similarities anyway because they both controlled by the British Crown. So this is the thing.
And it makes sense too because really veganism started in the UK by Watson.
That British guy started it, you know. But also, this is what I think. I do think a lot of their philosophies came from Africa, but over time, I think the Africans' dietary system became corrupt because we started thinking more European, especially
because of European invasion. You know?
Right. In countries like Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, places like that, they have a heavy British influence. The wrong kind of British, not the modern British, but the Britain from the 1960s, the imperialism and stuff. So they took on a lot of the diets from Europe, beef, potatoes, dairy, a lot of European stuff. Yeah, we was herbivore. We ate a lot of herbs and fruit and stuff like that. But so that question was there. Actually, real quick, I could ramble off maybe the top 10 countries for the sake of time. That's vegans. We already said 1 and 2. Britain, number 1. Number 2, Australia. Number 3 is Switzerland, I believe. Actually, it's Israel. So that's the closest place to Africa. Israel's number 3. Austria.
Pescatarian though.
Yeah, they probably still eat some fish.
They ate a lot of fish over there. My wife was over there she went over there for like 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they do a lot of fish and they do lamb as well. So
okay. Maybe it varies depending on your religion. I don't know if the Christian side is different from the Muslim side or what, but yeah, it's probably a different.
Their diet's pretty much the same because they all come from the Torah, from the Old Testament, and the food they got dietary laws.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of them I know for certain don't really eat pork like that. But Austria, it's number 4. New Zealand's number 5. Germany's number 6. Sweden's number 7. Switzerland's number 8. Canada is number 9, and number 10 is Ireland.
The USA is number
12. They're actually number 12.
Really?
Yeah, United States is number 12, and a lot of that's probably come from the last 3 to 5, about 5 years, because people
California
veganism picked up momentum in like 2000, probably 13 or 14.
Yeah.
So it ain't been that long. It has been and like you said, a lot of the West Coast people, a lot of Washington State, Oregon, California, places like that are extreme vegans and stuff like that. Maybe West Utah. Coast. Yeah, yep. So yeah, that's the thing. What was the last thing I want to do here before we wrapped up? Okay, so real briefly, OG, let's rattle off different categories of foods that you can have for different properties. I'll start off with what I call the green bean family. So you want to do peas. And I'm talking about the purpose of them too. Peas, green beans, spinach. These are all fibrous based things. Well, peas got water content too. Spinach has water content. Green beans has quite a bit water content. Kale. I don't think about kale. A lot of people have. It's tough to eat. So a good thing I've always learned: you soak it in vinegar overnight because kale is kind of tough to eat. And whatever, it could be hard on your digestive tract. So you got to soak it overnight in something like vinegar or something, like maybe apple cider vinegar or something like that.
Saute it with spinach, man. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Saute. You want to cook it a little bit. Cabbage is good. Carrots are allegedly good for your vision or whatever. I'm sure there's other properties. So I think it's some vitamin.
It's
vitamin
got
K.
Anti-cancer agents in it too. So carrot, get them free radicals out your body.
Yep. What else? Black eyed peas.
Yeah.
Squash is good. What else?
Zucchinis.
Zucchini's great.
It's in the squash family.
Great. Mm-hmm.
Sweet potatoes are good.
That's definitely a good supplement for protein. That's a good protein substitute.
Yep.
What else we got here? What's another one? Okay, let's go to our fruits. Pineapples, mangoes, apples, oranges. Anything that's citrus based is a good vitamin C. Vitamin C has so many good properties. You need it for the little bit of everything. Not only is it good for your immune system, it's also good for your cells. It's the building block for your cells. You need vitamin C for your bone structure, for your teeth, which is a calcified bone anyway. It's almost like a bone that don't really bleed. At least I don't think it does. But
berries are real good.
Yeah, those are antioxidants and stuff like that.
Yep, any type of berry, you know.
Blueberry, blackberry.
My wife loves strawberries. I can't eat strawberries, but
I'm not a big fan of strawberries. I'll eat strawberries.
I like blueberries and blackberries, and you know.
I'm not a big fan of blue and blackberries, but I understand why they're good. If I eat them, it got to be in like some oatmeal with some cinnamon in it. I can't eat it by itself. They got like a tart taste to it. I don't like it, but they're definitely healthy. Just because I don't like
cherries too. I love cherries, man.
That's another thing I could pass on unless I got other stuff that I can pass on. I'm more of a tropical fruit person. I like mango. Stuff like that.
I'm a banana man. I eat a banana just about every day. That's my favorite fruit, you know. Absolutely. And that's got, you know,
banana is good for
got fiber in it.
Yep.
You know.
It's good for if you got metal depletion. If you're getting headaches and weaknesses and all that, you probably got a metal. You need some potassium in your diet, which comes from kale, spinach, bananas, anything that's have a very metallic chemical property. But bananas, you got to be careful in the morning because bananas is what? A muscle relaxer. So it makes you tired. It brings you down. So I would not advise that you eat McDonald's. Actually, eating bananas are bad good for overnight when you get ready to go to bed because it's a muscle relaxer. The only time I would say you should eat bananas during the day if you're having some type of digestive problems, specifically like constipation or whatever, or if you're having a problem, you know, removing waste and things like that, it's good for that. Not to gross y'all out, but I mean, it kind of is what it is.
I eat one every day, baby. Apples are good because of that pectin. It's good for your digestive tract as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. OG, I want to give you a round of applause. Get on here, letting us know what's causing all of this, man.
G Spice, be like, baby.
G Spice, absolutely. Make sure you get that G Spice if you want to know more about that. It's turmeric based. Which, you know, is the building block of any type of spice anyway, but it got other properties up in there that flavor your food, that's good for antibacterial things, that's good for anti-inflammation. I'm wearing a shirt right now. You talk to the G Spice man himself, the modern day Uncle Ben, as I like to call him, the modern day George Washington Carver, OG triple. Thanks for letting us know what's causing all of this, man. And you can catch me, OG, literally in a couple seconds on the next video, as long as everything work out. Give or take in the next 5 minutes if the damn thing is acting up when we're trying to go on or whatever. But we're going to get on talk about wrestling, which is what our background is in. I want to get everybody a round of applause. Let me get that clapping in here again. We had
Monday Night Raw night tonight, too.
Absolutely. Monday Night Raw. We're going to be discussing that a little later on, which is another reason why we cut this episode short. Yesterday, we went plenty long. So if you want to hear us talk about another great topic, go check out what we talked about in my timeline in general. We had 58 people on here, so I'm glad that's 58 more people that are concerned with their diet. A lot of people aren't concerned with their diet these days. I'm sure it's going to be more than that because every time I get off for like 3 hours, that number multiplies by 2 or 3. So I want to thank y'all. OG, I don't know if you heard, we broke 1,000 views. We're about 1,300 views within 2 weeks on my channel. I also have about 105 subscribers already. So the Prodigy brand has transitioned well over here on the Haps app. We want to thank y'all. We came from Periscope. We just a bunch of humble people. Team Prodigy. I'm working on a logo for us. Actually, I was working on it last night. It should be done probably by tomorrow or whatever. I sent y'all. Did y'all see that preliminary I sent y'all in the group chat? That. What y'all think of that?
Hey, it was fun looking. So hey, whatever, you know. Yeah, I'm easy. I'm like the Commodores. Easy like a Sunday morning.
Absolutely. Plant-based is what the OG diet says. Make sure y'all aspire for plant-based.
Poppy, baby.
Absolutely. Poppy. Yes, sir. So make sure if y'all like what we had today here, we have a thought-provoking conversations every single day, Sunday through Thursday, 5 p.m. To 5:30 for the commute home. We start at 5:30. We go. Sometimes we go for a while. Tonight we went short, but we have an interesting tomorrow we'll be talking politics. Is the Democratic office good for, first of all, our class, our constituents, black men? We're all black men. Most of my people are minority men. Brian's he's Thai. He's half Thai, half white. So he's a minority technically too. So we're going to look at it from that. Of course, we're going to put more energy into that because that's what we are. But overall, is it good for American people, period? And how they're going to handle the disaster that's going on in the United States right now. We might mention Trump briefly, but tomorrow we're going to focus on Kamala Harris. Actually, no, I think we focus on Trump. Kamala Harris and them next week, I believe. closer to the inauguration. We doing them next Tuesday. Tomorrow we talking about Trump and what was that 1621. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. We'll briefly mention the Democrats, but we'll go in more on the Democrats next Tuesday. Tomorrow we're gonna pick up on Trump and all of what's caused all him getting kicked off on Twitter. We're gonna talk about all that tomorrow on the show. Same time, same location. If you like what we bring here on the Prodigy brand, make sure y'all subscribe. It helps a lot. But this is what I want to encourage y'all to do. Make you a HAPS account. Use my link, TJ the Prodigy, that contributes to all of us. They're going to all eventually get paid because, HAPS make it easy to make money. So now I'll be able to pay my staff easily because Periscope wasn't paying. They's barely paying me enough, let alone my staff. But HAPS will definitely start bringing in that money because they give you coins for signing in every day. So I want to encourage y'all. You could be the best at what you do. You could be the best cook. You could be the best carpenter. You could be the best homemaker. You could be the best designer. You could be the best entrepreneur. Nobody knows that if you don't broadcast it, if you don't tell us why you're great, if you don't tell us about your specific journey, like we talked about with OG today, and like we talked about myself, if you don't talk about what makes you unique and why you could contribute to the world, just be prepared to be unhappy at your job. The keys to freedom is starting your own broadcast about what you're good at. You got to tell us, and then you send it to people like me, and I advertise it for you. We already got OG. I got him started with his page. We got people coming over here. We already got people obviously interested in healthy life. We're going to keep this going. I'm rocking a shirt that he gave me for free. You know, he's been very loyal to my brand. So, of course, I'm a reciprocate. But, yeah, you could be the same person. Talk about why you and your friend and why your brand is unique. For Monday Night Rav, for Brian, who can be with us today. Matter of fact, you can follow Reezy Bags, at Rav on his Twitter account, which is at YoungRav1988 on Twitter and on HAPS. Brian, very esteemed politician, political debater, and a sports conversationalist. You can follow him on here and Twitter at Thailander1980. OG 2470, right? OG on here.
2740 on here.
2740 on HAPS. On Twitter, he's at OG 24/7 365, as in OG every day, all day. That's pretty much what it stands for. Yep. And for me, I'm the Prodigy, nickname TJ the Prodigy. That's capital TJ, capital DA, capital P, lowercase RODIGY. If you ever confused, it pops up on the screen when we're talking pretty much throughout the whole video. Anyway, for the whole Prodigy crew, thank y'all for enjoying this conversation. Spread the word. Make sure y'all start y'all have you get 100 coins for signing up on the damn app, so that's incentive enough to sign up right there. Also, they give you 50 coins every day just for signing in and doing a new video. Next thing you know, you've been broadcast for a week, you got 1,000 damn coins in addition to people sending you coins that like your product, so you could eventually turn all those coins into money. So make sure who is VLife 2020? Oh, that's you all.
That's my IG account for my vegan. So if you want to know about, little foods and stuff, I do that on my IG. Okay, sounds like a plan. I'm going to check that out because I like to cook myself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, well, thank y'all for coming on here and hearing what's causing all this about veganism. And to the topic tomorrow, this is the Prodigy brand with TJ the Prodigy. Catch us on the next one, y'all. We coming right back with professional wrestling. Y'all be smooth. Another one. Thank you. Yes, sir, OG. Another one. Y'all be smooth, y'all. Bless y'all families. Have a great day.